Hello everybody and welcome to Path of Titans Brawls. Today we have a good matchup of Kentrosaurus versus Ceratosaurus. Two players here being played this time. You've got FrogStapDancing in the Kentrosaurus and you've got Chicken in the Ceratosaurus. This is going to be a decent fight. Round one is no abilities, so in that sense where it's like how they are when they first start out. So let's just get right into it. As you can see, Kentrosaurus is already laying in the damage, whereas it is actually a lot more hurt than the Cerato. The Cerato is getting off quite lightly there, must be because the tail hits are hitting him probably somewhere else, but he is bleeding quite a lot. Of course, this means there's no fun abilities here. Kentrosaurus can't up its damage and Ceratosaurus can't do bone break, so you have to think about it that sense. This is all standard. If these two came up face to face in a vanilla matchup, this will be what happens. 50-50 chance. Kentrosaurus has already taken some huge damage though. Look at those scars on its legs already. It is just bleeding out slowly. Those scars are getting bigger and bigger. This could almost be the end now. The Ceratosaurus is chasing and it's gotten it, which means Chicken, the Ceratosaurus, wins round one. Kentrosaurus is going to have to do some work to catch up now for round two. Round two is full abilities, so they can use whatever ability they want, and this basically will just go crazy. So let's just get right into it. As you can see, the Kentrosaurus is doing its passive ability, which increases its damage output for a set amount of time. But the Ceratosaurus is going to do a bone break, and it did! Bone break the Kentrosaurus. The Kentrosaurus is now in a tough position. It needs to do some damage here. It needs to keep its tail to the Ceratosaurus, but the Cerato needs to get those shoulder spikes, because then it can deal a lot of damage to that weakened Kentro. Now the Kentro is back to its normal power. No more bone broke. However, the Cerato is going to be trying to do more bone break during this fight. Charging up the bite attack right there. Is he going in? Is he going to do it? No! Just missed. Hit by the tail attack in the head from the Kentrosaurus. He's going for that bone break again, and he's done it. Kentrosaurus has broken his bones once again. I believe this is a 20-second or 10-second bone break from the Ceratosaurus. I know the bone break attack doesn't do that much damage, however, so they have to think about it that way. As you can see, the Cerato is now bleeding quite a bit. The Kentro needs to win this one, because if it doesn't, it loses by default. The Cerato is still trying, but it's definitely the most scarred here. It's bleeding quite a bit as well, which means it will be losing health if it does not sit down and rest either. I think the Cerato is done for. Any second now, it will die. And it's out. The Kentrosaurus wins round two. This means this final round, round three, is for anybody. And there we go. Obviously, the most toxic play there by that Kentro. Round three is the same as round two, but they've mixed up their abilities as well a little bit more. The final round. Let's get right into it. Ceratosaurus and Kentrosaurus facing it off. The final duel. And we're off. So it looks like the Kentrosaurus now is using its charged attack. It's going to see how that does its thing. That does more bleed damage, but it also does more raw damage as well. So it deals more overall, but it is obviously a charged attack. Therefore, it is slightly weakened if it does not hit the attacks. And as you can see, the Cerato did get a couple of attacks on there while the Kentro was charging up its passive ability. Bone break once again on the Kentro, which means the Cerato is going to be able to deal a lot of damage. This is going in from the side, hitting those shoulder spikes, hitting the side of the Kentro, making sure that it is getting that damage in. It's also got a tail attack now, I've noticed, so it's going to be able to do that double attack damage. However, what's happening here? This Kentrosaurus has turned into some kind of hedgehog, because every time the Cerato gets near it, it just gets absolutely stomped by those spikes on the tail of the Kentrosaurus. I will say, these are two of my favourite dinosaurs. I love Kentro, I love Cerato. The skin that Chicken has got on that Cerato is also the skin that I main. So maybe this is me that's playing it. Maybe not. That would explain why, you know, I'm doing so well. A lot of bleed damage on the Kentro, which indicates that the Cerato has now got a bleed attack. I think that will be the claw attack instead, that the Cerato is using on the Kentrosaurus. Or it could be a bleed bite. However, the standard for the Kentro with its tail attacks. Doing a lot of damage to the Cerato. The Cerato is getting scarred. However, the Kentro is also scarred. So this can be a very close match. Who's going to be the one that dies first? It looks like it could be the Ceratosaurus. And it is! Finished off by a bite or headbutt attack. The Kentrosaurus wins round 3 as well. Well done to the Kentro. But that's it, everybody, for Kentrosaurus versus Ceratosaurus. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But yeah, peace.